7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy.
It is January the 25th, 2016. I'm 17. I'm Dana Durnford, your host, the notorious nuclear proctologist.org. We pulled the rug out from under the nuclear industry. Like most people are brushing their teeth. It's simple. All you gotta do is tell the truth. And the truth will drop the nuclear industry flat on its head every time. And the nuclear industry's entire history is predicated upon vicious lies. Here's an interesting original report about Fukushima before the PR firms went totally whack job.
The fact that the reactor in Japan is 100 times more powerful than the one in Chernobyl, and in fact the two stations, the two power plants in the Fukushima region produced the world's biggest joint amount of energy, and this means of course that this reactor, which is under threat now, is far more powerful than the one in the fourth block of the Chernobyl nuclear power station, which exploded 25 years ago.
So 100 times, not just one, but 100 times larger. They were big, massive power producers. Hello, good morning, everybody. Elaine, Nathan, Illusion, Jace. Hello, everybody. We're just starting the stream. Let's keep her rocking and rolling. We are into year, or just about year. That's not supposed to repeat itself, Dina. Let's keep rolling with the music. Let's see what the music man brings us. Up on the housetop. Let's keep her going. So 100 times more powerful. And head researcher is now sounding alarms over the striking changes and updates. On that is that the whales now officially are all emaciated. And killer whales can eat tuna, they can eat halibut, and they do. And they eat seals and sea lions and birds and otters and porpoise and dolphins. And go look it up. And you will see sites out there claiming that they only eat salmon here in British Columbia. These are public relation firms. If you track down the site, you'll find out most of them are registered in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, which is government central for British Columbia, Canada. But we documented the coastline, like they're melting. The species, and there's 78 species of sea anemones, or starfish, and the same for sea anemones. They come in multiple colors in each species. Good morning, everybody. Let me switch that out. Grizzly disease decimating the starfish. Just for a couple of minutes, I'm going to build you a little picture. Fukushima is the most terrifying situation imaginable. Now, the reason they're saying something like that, waiting for my computer to catch up over here. Oh, that's why, because I'm not. Oh, yeah, I'm in the right spot. Oh, I just got all that. Because on my computer, this one that we're working with, I have all this stuff preloaded, usually. There's around 20,000 pieces imported, but I got a lot more than that. Like another 300,000 or something pieces. Just want you to think about what happened to the country. Here's a better depiction. So I want you to use your common sense, your reasoning ability. I want you to switch off mainstream media's nonsense and the pro-nuclear garbage and everything, and just use common sense for this one subject here in the context of, if there's a nuclear power plant, I'll make myself a bit wider here so you can see my hands moving, but so what you can see, if there's a nuclear power plant there, it was destroyed. Yeah, if there was nuclear holding sites, it was destroyed. If there was common spent reactor core, used reactor cores on the, what they call, like on the ground, in pools that don't have any kind of containment. The common spent fuel pools are like a swimming pool, except it's on the ground, not in the ground. And so when the tsunami came through, now these fuel pools are reactor cores, like hundreds of reactor cores over 40 years are all stored in those pools. And damage was coast-wide. You wouldn't have to be checked for coal or oil or gas if there was an accident. But if there's nuclear, you got to be checked. And if it's on you, you have to throw all your clothing away. But that... I'll fix that. I know it's just me, but... Think about the damage throughout the country. And there was 15 reactors in this whole area. And they ran away, and look how deformed the spider webs are, but they ran away and left everything behind. Now, would they do that for coal plant? So I get my new mic, I'll be able to sit anywhere I want, and I'll always sound this exact same tone. It won't change because I moved. And plus, when I'm doing skits, I can walk and my pitch won't change, where now the microphone is stationary. I have to just fake it, right? All that's about to change. Everything is on its way for that. It's paid for. We raised the money and paid for it. The boat is empty, and we want to fill it up. It's 1,100 liters to fill up the boat. Everybody's like, Jesus, Dana, what kind of fucking boat you got there? Well, we take the boat out and we do shit like this. This is me multiple times. That's me too on the beach. Just a depiction of me out on the boat. Now, under the hull, I take 45 gallons, and then I have 16 jerry cans. And that's so I don't have to worry about it. I can go do what needs to be done. I mean, that's a lot of fuel to take you a long way, but we done 15,000 miles of the coastline. And then that includes diesel. That includes fuel for the kickers and the little Zodiac. It's full of holes and it's not repairable. The little Zodiac, the next one's got to be a hard bottom. And I can get by. You can donate at the nuclearproctologist.org if you'd like to see more expeditions on this coastline looking for the species. So far, 2017, we've been out on, well, me, I am it, been out on how many, 7 or 8 trips along the shoreline locally. But this is the documentation of all that is up at the nuclearproctologist.org. 260 days doing that coastline, documenting the species on that coastline. And so they're gone permanently. This is an extinction event, yeah? We'll never see those things again. The starfish melting was not, these headlines are not a joke. Collapse of species fear. 2013, we went out and documented a total collapse of the tidal zones, the most important, the nursery of the Pacific. Yeah, pretty sad news, pretty horrific. And it's backed up by media from all over the world. That's what these headlines, they're media from all over the world talking about. It's not just me. They're using, and still are, the homeless, the destitute, the victims, the people that don't know how to defend themselves, that are easily molded and manipulated and put into dangerous positions. If you don't understand that, then you got to consider these plants. Once again, this is all me. I done the graphics myself. All those people are actually me. If that was real people, they all be dead within a few hours. Like the ones closest to us would be dead in a few hours. The ones that are up by the building would be dead within 30 minutes or less because of the gamma shine, the x-rays, the neutrons and stuff like that. This is other types of work where this is what we're doing when we're building. All the work there, someone has to die. For everything that's done there, someone had to die. The buildings were originally 190 foot high, and they have been manipulating you relentlessly for quite a long time. So think about that shot, right? And when you think about that shot, you think about all the people there. Where did they come from? Well, that was just me fooling around with software. Now, the reason they lie to you so much is they don't want to tell you the truth or anything close to it, because you would demand to get rid of nuclear. But there's 1 million corporations on this planet dependent upon it. But there's 8 million species dependent upon us and you doing something about this. Speak it out, slowing it down, the extinction event, any way we can. We got to come up with solutions and mitigations and water filtration systems. We got to come up with ways forward. We got to come up with solutions that will seem insurmountable. We don't have the technology to go in, but we could try. Should we not try? Just because they don't want to try. If you were watching a child drown and everybody was stood there and they were like, oh, I don't know, that's a long way offshore. I'm not going to swim out there. Or if you were watching a child play on the road and a car was coming by and everybody was stood there and it was easy to run out and save that child, would you not do that? Even though you don't know the child, would you not feel that instinct? They don't, right? The nuclear industry doesn't have that instinct. And that 1 million corporations that are dependent upon you not understanding what happened, there's a real cause for concern, because I went out and done that whole coastline, so let there be no mistake. The things I'm talking about are real. They're pertinent. Cesium is just a tracer, but a deadly one. It's a fission product. 134 and 137 are fission products. Neptunium is a hot particles. Americium, hot particles. The biggest byproduct is curium and fuel rods, even though they're made of plutonium originally and uranium. But the uranium, they harvest the 235 from the 238, and then they take the 238, add a neutron to it, it becomes plutonium 239. So they want that, and then they want uranium 235. But 232, 233 are fission products they can get from thorium, but thorium produces inconceivable amounts of radioactive material into the environment. They can't contain it. It can't be contained, see? Some of this stuff, you can't even put it in pressured containers. It'll just come right through the containers and into the environment. Think about a 190-foot building. They told you that everything is fine. They told you that it was the fuel pools and all that. The fuel pools are the red depictions at the top of the screen. The centerpiece by me is the very center of the building. That's the reactor core. As you can see, the reactor cores are gone. These buildings were 190 foot. Right? And they tore them down. There's nothing left of them. Right? Yeah? That's Unit 4. That's Unit 3. Unit 3 is, both of these buildings were 6 reactor cores. 6. This is really something. This is really scary stuff. Like, Chernobyl, they have graveyards, but that was the blob over there. It's still melting, parts of it is still melting down into the earth. But it was considered hell on earth. It contaminated a large, very large section, caused incredible illnesses for 3 million children. Contaminated much of North America, South America, well, the whole planet. They were jacking people off the street to go in and do that on the roof. You go out there for 15 or 20 seconds, you go home and die a few weeks later. You were thrown away like potato chips on a drunken binge. But they're telling us that they're inside of this building and that it looks like the depiction over there is ludicrous. It's insanity. It's insane. It's a mental deficiency that is not tolerable, because we're talking about the death of the Pacific Ocean. We know this because we went out and we documented it. Yeah, we went out and documented it, and we're going to go back out. We're trying to raise money to go deal with it because we're the only people out there trying. And we've been marginalized and victimized so much for so long. We're not putting up with it. We're not taking it lying down. We're not going to pretend that it's not our responsibility to be the checks and the balances. You think about that diversity that is missing and the implications for every species on the planet because of that. How can you ignore the extinction event taking place and not support people like me? Because I am struggling beyond anything imaginable for year after year, trying to figure out what the frig happened. And everything you're seeing here today is a result of that. This is pictures before where I went out and done the whole coastline with the help of this planet. This planet sent me out there to tell you and tell them the story, to find out what happened. But I took it to a whole different level. This planet has never seen nothing like us. Together we are magic. Together we pull the rug out from this entire industry. And we show the horror of what they'd done long before we would have worked it out any other way. We took it to a whole different level. We aggregated thousands and thousands and worked out the story. Thanks to places like E&E News, who aggregated it as an energy site. But now we have a complete picture from media all around the world talking about this subject. We're able to categorize the stories and put them in chronological order. We're able to build that image. But we take it to a whole new level. We're boots on the ground. We're in their faces online with a real format, not some fake, twisted nonsense. We're here to teach you, to educate you, to get you up to speed, to make you come to terms with it, to get you on the right side, to help The future, you are the future. It is your decision whether we have a future or not. Greenpeace is not doing this. There's no organizations telling you this. You're looking at it. You're looking at the one person left, and I've been victimized. I've been smeared by the Japanese Times, by the Globe and Mail, the biggest media in Canada, by CBC. I've done interviews with them when they wouldn't even quote me. 2 20-minute interviews, still won't quote me. They couldn't pick anything in the 2 20-minute interviews that they can use to demonize me with. Because I don't lie. And I go through the trouble of finding everything, putting it, categorizing it, and then making sure there's no way. There's no way. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. We know for sure. We worked out.
And the tops of these pools are 100 feet above ground. And
yeah, well, there's not 100 feet there, is it? But now we know. Now we get the game. Now we see what they got done to us. Now we have a clear picture. Now we even know who some of the players are.
Building 4 is also similarly fragile.
One of the biggest activists on the planet. The biggest activist with 29,000 doctors signed on to her. 29,000. And yet she can't understand that what she's saying is a lie, is a complete fabrication, is a total ludicrous. And all you got to do is show the picture and she looks like an idiot. But that is the biggest person on the planet right there for 30 years almost, who lied to you over and over and over. But they're supposed to be the activists.
Building 4 is also similarly fragile, and it's got a huge cooling pool on top with all its fuel rods. But they
When she was saying that, that's what the building looked like. There's no fuel rods. There's no fuel pools.
have been removing them.
They can't remove them. Look at the depiction over there. The biggest activist that everybody's running through, the media shoving down everybody's throat, is an outrageous liar. There's the fuel pool. There's the fuel pool. That's 5 reactor cores, and here's the reactor itself. And here's building 4 she's talking about. It's all gone. These are 190-foot buildings. And nobody's going to hold her accountable. There's no police to arrest her for lying and right here, right now, like that, manipulating everybody. Oh, it's okay, Dana. She got 29,000 doctors, Dana, behind her. I'm sure she wouldn't lie. Well, she did. She did. She not only done it once, she done it repeatedly.
And it's been a very delicate procedure, and they've removed almost all. So if that collapsed now, I think it would probably be okay.
It's gone. It already collapsed. That's it there. And that's the fake picture over there. That's another look at it. It's all gone. That's the homeless, the destitute. And everybody that worked there died within a short period of time. These buildings are Ernie Gunnarsson done the same thing.
Old TEPCO video. And Tokyo Electric had gone into the Unit 3 fuel pool just once. You remember that Unit 3 is the...
You can't go in there, you die. Now, he says the same thing. Now, he's going to talk about a known public relation firm that has nothing to do with science as his source. I'm not going to go into it because I get upset when I do it. Those people over there are dead. Those people inside there is not Fukushima. That's not reactor building that's over here. It's not that reactor 3 either. And if you lose power anywhere, it starts to melt down within a few hours.
If they lose power to those to that reactor or to any other reactors past a few hours from now, you might reach a 3-mile
island. And it did. And it done it right away. Think about what the jet streams actually look like. Now, I know, like, these people are going to tell you the jet streams are not real. A lot of them will mention it, but they won't mention the reactor cores that were on the roof. They'll say that's what they call fuel pools, and they say they're there and they're getting the fuel there, but they're gone. They were long gone. and this is what happened. But this is only a depiction from NOAA of what they claim was vented releases. Vented releases. See, this is where it gets crazy when they come out and claim that someone ran in over there and vented it. Yeah? Because that's how they got that model. They claim somebody went in there and vented it. This is people on the internet attacking me that are supposed to be anti-nuclear. And they're out there demonizing me because I'm coming after the PR firms. They're PR firms, what you're looking at. Arnie's PR firm, 100% lawyer. He knows better. He was a nuclear engineer. So anybody talks about iodine is trying to murder you. Anybody who doesn't talk about the damage for 400 kilometers of that coastline and says radiation like a banana or a potato chip or walking in sunshine or any of the other outrageous insults like getting on a plane and climbing a mountain, sleeping next to somebody, or that's everywhere, or that radiation is good for you. If there's a nuclear holding site there, it was destroyed. If there was a nuclear holding site there, it was destroyed. If it was here, it was abandoned. If it was there, it's everywhere. It's mixed in with all of that. And that is 400 kilometers of your coastline. But see, they picked up 30 million one-ton bags. That's why they're checking these people also. It's because the same stuff that's in that bag. It's not like a banana or potato chips or walking in sunshine or sleeping next to somebody. They're not doing these radiation checking. They're not wearing all that gear. They're not abandoning their homes. $30 million bags. You got any idea how friggin' much that actually is? If you were to, these are 1 ton, put a 1 ton truck, put a bag in the back of a 1 ton truck, and put the 1 ton trucks bumper to bumper. So they're scratching each other's bumpers. And put them on the highway and go right around the planet. Now do that again, go around the planet again with another row. Now do it again, go around the planet with another row on that highway. That's 3 rows on that highway. Is that 30 million? No. Go around the planet again, bumper to bumper. Each truck is 20 feet, bumper to bumper, right around the planet. 30 million of them is 5 rows of traffic. You won't be able to drive across the highway unless they take some of those trucks out of the way. Because they're bumper to bumper. The road is completely blocked with 5 lanes of traffic, bumper to bumper, right around the planet. The radiation fell on all that material. It radiated also all of that. But that is not what they're picking up. That is different. These people are eating fish that is highly radiated. It's impossible to avoid it. Everything there is highly radiated after the tsunami. These are dead men walking. These are homeless. These are victims of society. Look at them. If they didn't die right away, and they most likely, a lot of them would have, within a few days, they died within a few weeks. So 400 kilometers of the coastline was ripped apart. There was no way to get water in there. That's why they blew up and caught fire. That whole country was wrecked for 400 kilometers. 400 kilometers was stripped, was knocked down, was ripped to pieces. There was no telephone poles to hook power back up. And the victims, you go tell them it was like a banana and a potato chip or sleeping next to someone and get on an airplane or climbing a mountain or radiation is everywhere or radiation is good for you. They're going to punch you right in the mouth as hard as they can. That's why I would. I'd punch them right in the fucking mouth as hard as I could. Anyway, tells me it's like a banana. Ba-boom! Right on your fucking back. And I know you're going to go on your back because you're a coward. That's what cowards do. They fall on the ground. Ah, call the police! It's me! Why? Hit me! I said that's what these people are like. Why you hit me? I want my mommy. He hit me, mommy. Mommy. I should have said mommy, not mommy. But whatever. Where I'm from, yes. Mommy. Not mother. That's some pompous fucking... Whatever your accent allows you to say, I guess, right? The abandoned? Everybody wearing radiation suits because there's 30 million one-ton bags. But you got all these creatures out there telling you it's on. Don't worry about it, Dan. It's 30 million one-ton bags. Big whoop. Well, there's a lot more than that because that's all they picked up. Hundreds of whales in a bay that they don't see. Massive amount of debris. You got to be there to believe it. West Coast right to be concerned about the plume. Things could get much worse. It's all radioactive, see? And radioactive will radiate this, will radiate that, and then these will radiate this, and they will radiate that, and those will radiate this. It never stops. It's like passing the flu around in school where it just starts spreading, and when you go home at the end of the day, the whole community is going around sneezing and burning through trees. It's true that about 70% of Japan's territory is polluted. You can say that's why you moved out of Chernobyl, because it's polluted. It's a vicious... It shouldn't exist. Where, like, the planet knows how to deal with coal fires. Lightning been striking this planet and setting coal on fire for millenniums. Coal fires are burning underground worldwide on their own for millenniums. But man-made nuclear radiation, nothing on the planet has a way of defending against it. There's nothing on the planet that knows how to deal with it. They don't even know where the 3 reactors are to, and that's still true today. They call it a disease, but they don't tell you what the disease is. They can't show you a picture of the pathogen or the virus. It's always a mystery pathogen and a mystery virus. Just shut up. We'll figure it out when we get around to it. Don't worry about it. We're looking at it. Attitude. When they work for you. Imagine your employee saying that to you. This is why we're in so much trouble, because the people that we hire to do certain jobs for us have turned into monsters. They've turned into monsters. When you give people fucking credit cards with no accountability, when you give them government trucks with no accountability, when you give them weapons, when you give them authority with no accountability, and they truly got no accountability, you can't fucking fire a government employee because these are monsters. They're fucking parasites. This is why we call them parasites, because you can't get rid of them. They're vicious, blood-sucking, life-sucking, earth-wrecking parasites. They won't back up. They won't back off. They use all the systems they got available to attack me. Not go after the actual criminal, but to go after people saying, hey, this is fucking dangerous. This is scary. What the fuck? No, they use all equipment to silence me. They've used the courts to silence me with 3 gag orders. You gotta support me. You gotta make me strong. Because if you don't, then who's going to be out there? I don't have the latitude to go out and fucking burn money on anything to take a chance. It's ridiculous. If there's something happens, I don't have the money to go out and take 6 days before it shows up in my fucking bank account before I can even do anything? Even after 3 years? This is why they are ultimately going to destroy the whole planet. It's because everybody's so conditioned to give the money to them, not to the real people. And where they will do everything in their power to stop me from being able to wield any kind of influence. Squid's gone, the herring's gone, the anchovies are gone, the krill are gone. Everybody's, oh, Jesus, why are all the fucking birds dying? Why are all the whales starving to death? Why did, but think about how we can't even have a conversation. We can't have a conversation that the coastline of Canada, we can't have a conversation that the coastline of Canada is fucking naked. We can't have a conversation with anybody out there that we might have a fucking serious issue on our coastline. We can't get a government to say, hey, there seems to be a problem on the coastline. It looks like all the 7,000 plus species that are residential kind of went on vacation. We can't get anybody to talk about it in the activist community like Greenpeace or anybody else. We can't get any mainstream media to fucking look at it, to talk to us. We can't get anybody to go out there and look at these same places, even though I provide the documentation up at my website, thenuclearproctologist.org. We still can't get anybody to go out there and do the job. And then I can't raise enough money to replicate it or go out and follow up on it. Like, think about how expensive it is to do the shit that I want, like the basic stuff. Just filling the boat up, I need $1,100 to fill it up. All the tanks and all the diesel. But then I need filters for the stove. I need filters for 3 engines. I need gear casing oil for 3 engines every so many hours. I got to change the oil in the engine filters every so many hours. Where am I going to, it's stupid $200 for the bake engine. Just to keep my website each year coming up is another $400 in March. Registration for the boat, insurance coming up in March, another $400 or $500 if I'm lucky. Then the truck to tow this around with is burning an obscene amount of money when you're trying to do it. You got to park it. You got to, go in. You got to pay to launch it. Just the maintenance on it is fucking overwhelming. And you can't do anything without some money. You can't survive without people regularly donating to you. You got to come out and do videos where you got to beg for money. I know this is... Like, who would want this job? I don't want it. It's so hard, so difficult to accomplish anything. But yet we manage to keep moving. We manage to keep banging into it. We manage to keep motivated because it has to be done. It's not going to go away. It's not going to change. It's not going to stop. They're not going to give it up. They're not going to admit. They're not going to tell the truth. They're incapable. The whole fucking thing is rigged. And we have to bludgeon them. We have to be a force. We have to come out and we have to dominate. We can't do that. And that's why I hit it from so many fucking angles. Why I'm boots on the ground. Why I'm in their face. Why I'm on the radios. Why I take the beating. Why they drag me in a court. And I come out and I beg everybody to support me, and we managed to barely pull it off every single time. So, I'm not saying I'm not grateful. I'm saying we're in trouble. We got 4 million species knocked out in the Pacific, and the rest of it is running scared, feeling the effects. The whole planet is now feeling the effects 6 years later. Millions of jellyfish. There's all these different medias that have talked about it is. I'm just showing you. I'm not really repeating the headlines today, but I'm just showing you how much information is actually available. Just like burning through it, trying to make you appreciate it's impossible, incomprehensible what we have accomplished and what we continue to try to do. And we're doing that because it has to be done, not because it's fun, because it's real. Because the victims are by the tens of thousands. And then the communities have suffered beyond anything conceivable. And we are, like, I am capable. Look at these graphics. Think about these graphics. Where else are you going to see someone pull off shit like that besides me, really? Besides Hollywood. You're just not going to see it, yeah? And turn the audio down and out. But this is all just me experimenting with my software. That took me forever to get around to finally trying, but now we bring you every perspective. We show you who the shitheads are. We show you who the manipulating, lying, despicable fucking troublemakers are, who the traitors are. We don't like calling people fucking traitors.
And the tops of these pools are 100 feet above ground.
But it's simple. When you look, you know that fuel pool over there, the beautiful one, it can't be inside of that one. You don't have to be a genius to work it out. You just got to pay attention. And we do. We have. And we will. And we did. See, the whole law is predicated that you won't be able to see the difference. You won't understand that by not seeing the one behind me, that one over there is a lie. Because you don't get to see two of the pictures together through Gunderson or Caldicott or Busby or fucking media or your universities or your institutions. You got to come here to see that. Right? I had to build all this, grab all this, find all this, authenticate it all. Not only that, 260 days bombing around on that fucking ocean. I don't know how many times I almost died on those expeditions. How many times I got the shit kicked out of us in storms and hurricanes and washed up on the fucking rocks in the middle of the night and fought in the middle of nowhere for my life with no one ever knowing. Like, I've been there. I've been in this shit. By myself with no one there to lean on. No one there to reach up. No one there to help you. Over and over and over, because I got it. I understood it. I had 14,000 hours under the ocean as a commercial diver. I'm not naive. I knew what I was looking for. I knew what to expect. I knew what I'm used to seeing. And all the pictures to your left is what I'm familiar with. This is what I understand. That's why I was a commercial diver. When I went there, I show an extinction event. And I have to come sometimes and beg for people out there that are in a position to help me. For fuck's sakes, help me. Help this planet is what you're doing. There's no one. If there's someone else out there like me, let me know. I'll try to help them. Somebody wants to go out and do the whole coastline, let me know. I got a boat and fucking gear, GPSs and all the shit. We already done it. But if it's not good enough, you want somebody else to go do it. Well, let's get somebody else to go do it. I got a lot of shit they can start with. It's all up there already at the nuclear proctologist with the GPSs. Once again, I don't like the things I got to do, but we got an extinction event. It's not a game. It's not going to go away, and it's not going to change. It's not going to get better unless we decide that we are going to fight for this planet. But until we fight for the planet, we are in real trouble. And we know that just the Gulf of Alaska, and here's another study. Local winds brought radioactive material from Fukushima to Tokyo. And you can link over to the study. That's not the one I was supposed to click on, I don't think. And France is going to buy out Areva because nuclear is shit. They can't make a profit. They liquidate the country's assets. That's why they're trying to stay alive, and then they run away and leave everything. So France is the taxpayers. The taxpayer now got to buy Areva and all their fucking dead weight, their litany of misery, their agony, all the lawsuits, all the victims. Now, fuck you. Go fight with the government. They're going to take their money, Areva, start out up a new company, and come right back in the door again. It's absolutely criminal. France use 70% of their fresh water to cool their fucking reactors. 70% of the fresh water. 70%. How the fuck is that good? How is that even normal? You sterilized 70% of your fresh water. You sterilized it. Idiots. Literally the fucking idiots. You idiots. You people are fucking idiots. Honest to goodness, you couldn't possibly get any friggin' stupider than that. You really can't. What, right? Because you won't hold your government accountable. And whose fault is that? Well, not mine. We went out and done our job, didn't we? Not yours that supported us. Not yours that put your back into it and threw your soul into it and threw your life savings into it. And we show it. Whether that matters, we don't know. Because it looks like we're ignored all the way up to this stage, don't it? Ultimately, we will show that we are morally justified and everything we done was done in good faith. And that we had to do what we had to do. We had to make the sacrifices. Thank you, Elaine. Getting rid of the trolls. Elaine's our moderator. Shanikin. It's a tough job, man. But she's the one for the job. She's made for that job. Whether she likes it or not, or wants to do it or not, she's made for that job. Trust me. So, we're back tomorrow. Banging at it again. Tomorrow we're going to take over a university in America, an institution, show you what what highly educated people do for a living. They come out and manipulate people. Don't let it bring you down. Just let it make you stronger. Let it make you more resolved. Let it make you realize that the job is yours, not to sit there and let lawyers rule the day. All you got to do is use your voice. This is what they fear more than everything put together, is you using your voice. So keep doing it. Hugs for everybody out there. Take care, folks.